Okay, let's see if this all works. Well, hopefully everything is working correctly, and we can hear me, we can see the people that are in the party, and we're gonna be able to actually do our session 0. Anthony's screen is teeny there. I don't know what's going on. You know what? We're gonna have some goofs, I'm sure, and we'll figure it all out. Somebody's nailing something to the to a board or something like that. I see that my green screen is not proper. It's not really the best lit that it could possibly be. Was it a puppy? So I'm gonna move the lights away from my thing while we introduce everybody. Guys, this is the first wonderful episode of the Real Housewives of Newfoundland. Did I say wives? House elves. The Real House Elves. Season 1. Well, it's. I mean, you know, whatever. I know that's. You know what? Is that how we're gonna start this off, Ryan? Okay, so let's get the background up here. Sorry, I should have had all this ready, but I had to restart my computer like 9 times. And we're gonna do some introductions and we're gonna do some stuff. So I do have like a syllabus that we're gonna follow, and it's easy. They're all little tiny things that we're gonna make sure that we take care of today. And by the end of the day, I think that we can end knowing that we have an idea of what to expect moving forward. That is my goal for tonight. So that is, I think, what we're all hoping. So let me put this over here, and hopefully, whoa, thank you so much for the subscription person that's playing with us. I appreciate it, Beatrice. I appreciate your dedication to everything that we do over here on the channel. So you are a valued member, and that's, oh, I got a new emote. Thanks, Court. All right, so we've got our battle mat in the background, which I thought was an appropriate background for our roadmap to play on. And check this out. Da 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 da, roadmap. So these are the things that we're going to go over tonight. We're going to go over schedule. We're going to do an around the table, and we're going to talk about party bonds, house rules, and the setting that we're going to be playing in. Yes, we now know that everybody can write on the map, at least for the moment being. I'm going to try to learn how to turn that off because there's a road there. Yeah, we've got some kinks. Hey, Wade Kitty Cat, thanks for joining us. I appreciate the hanging out with us while we figure out all these fun little things for this new D&D campaign. So to start off, we're going to get the easy one out of the way before we jump into the around the table. Our schedule is going to be 8 o'clock on the dot, like we started today. So barring the technical difficulties that we are certain to encounter every single stream, I don't doubt it, until I figure something out. We'll start right around 8. I'll be sending you guys that are with me the updated Skype call. Actually, I guess we're probably going to use the same one that we used today moving forward, because it didn't cause any problems. So join that as you find the time around 7:30, between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, and then right around 8 o'clock we'll hit the go live time and hopefully go live. So with that, oh, and I already missed my first cue. Look, I was supposed to do this, like, ooh, we're talking about schedule, and it turns blue, but I missed that. So we talked about schedule. Cross it out the line. It's done. Now we can move on to the around the table. So how about we go around the table and you guys each tell me a little bit about yourself, just who you are. And we'll go ahead and start with Kurt, and we'll go up and around and go clockwise. So Kurt, take it away. It's good. Oh no, let's not bring it down. That's good information. Yeah. And this was just my plan to get more viewers. It was just invite people that have children so they would actually um I know we're spiking, guys. Guys, we've gone viral. Everything is coming up Cardell. Just get everybody in on here. Yeah, no, they can't hear their dad. So I can hear you. Let's see. You know what? That would have been a really good thing to do, to start with like an audio check. So Kurt, can I get a check 1 2? All right. So I see Ryan's mic level go up when you speak. So I wonder if there's some like duplicitous audio that's going on here. Oh, maybe it's because no, that's not it. Sorry, we're just troubleshooting. Like I said, this is troubleshooting 101. All right, so it looks like all of the audio. Actually, Anthony, can you say something? Yeah, that's weird. All of the audio sources go up when you speak, but I hear you guys. That's Well, those are good things. Everybody can hear everybody. Wade, can you hear anyone besides me? I mean, ultimately, that's the only person I care about. So really, you guys are just here for filler, to look pretty. No, I look fine I look fine on my stream. So let's see. What I can do is I can disable all these audio sources. You can't hear them. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I tried to get fancy. I tried to do a thing where I was gonna be able to do everybody's stream sources separately. We're just gonna go ahead and add everybody together.
Mishmash.
Now you probably hear like double sound, but I've muted one of them. So can we get a
I heard him on the stream.
Yeah, there now everybody should be heard because I'm doing all the audio coming through the XLR. So, Kurt, can we get a mic check?
Hello, Mike. I'm checking on you. How are you doing?
I think the mic is doing well. Anthony, can we get a mic check?
Yep, here I am talking.
All right. Yeah, you're gonna be quiet. I mean, I'm not asking you to be quiet. You were quiet.
Wow.
Okay, I can try talking. I moved.
Yeah,
there he is. Did you do like the whole, speaking into the microphone thing? I appreciate that. What's up, Solar Coyote? Beatrice, can I get a mic check?
Check 1 2.
And Corbin Steel Fleet, let me get that mic check. What are we pointing at? What are the?
I don't know. Hello, mic check 1 2.
And Mr. Spangle Luxy, let me get it.
Syllabants.
Yes, that's good. You need to. It was a syllabant. Sweet, awesome. I think everybody can hear you. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? Thanks for jumping in and saying hi. Nice, funny looking. Man, we got the whole Karen crowd in here.
I feel like we missed opportunities with like the mic check.
Well, you know what? This is just take number 1. This is like, we're gonna do a second run at 10:30.
Not even live.
Yeah,
That's where we're going. Okay.
I sure hope we're live. Okay, so we'll finish up our around the table. Kurt has gone. He is a teacher. He is funny, but nobody could hear you. So yeah, why don't you go for a second shot there, Kurt? And skip the sad stuff that you threw in there.
Oh, sorry. So no talk about real things.
Yeah, no. I don't. Nobody wants real stuff.
I'm a magic user with cards. Look at me.
No.
Let's see. My name's Kurt. I'm super excited to play D&D, and the people that are here have heard this already twice, so I don't know what else to say. I feel bad for them, not so much for you guys out there. If you ever decide to tune into episode 0, I enjoy playing D&D, and I have 3 kids. I'm in education, and I'm really excited to be here.
There you go. I appreciate it. So can I ask anybody that's listening to the stream if you hear multiple audio sources from anybody that's speaking? So like when Kurt was talking, did you hear like was it clear? Did we sound okay? Question mark? Anthony, why does yours keep getting small? It's doing that thing that Courtney's was doing last time. Like the webcam gets small and then it gets big again and it fills the frame. I don't know why. Oh, Ilana says he sounded great. Okay, so that's good enough for me, and hopefully it's capturing everybody's audio levels on their separate tracks, and things are good. Who knows? We'll find out after this first one. This first one might be a little bit rough. I'm not gonna lie. So Anthony, can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yes, I am
Rich.
Nailed it. He got it in one. There we go. All right, Courtney. No, I'm just kidding.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm 30. I am Jay's little brother. That's probably why I'm here. And looking forward to playing with you guys.
Yay. I like you as little brother. You've always been the best one that I've ever had. So
Thanks.
thanks for hanging out with me, Anthony. And we're gonna figure out that webcam issue because it's gonna drive me crazy. All
Is it
right.
happening on Skype or just on the
It's
stream?
happening on the stream. I don't know if it's happening on Skype or not. I'm not looking at all those different things. There's too many things to look at. I've got like
No, it's
all
not
the
happening on
screens.
Skype. You saw it on Skype, but on the
This
stream,
one-
I see what you're talking
this
about.
one's
Where
Jay's
kind of,
fault.
You're freaking out, man.
Yeah, I wonder what the deal is. But we'll
Cut
figure it
the,
out.
app size. Unless you got me as 2 different layers on there, and it keeps switching between the 2 as I talk.
No, I think it's only the one because if it was 2 layers, it would like
Just overlap entirely.
yeah, you'd see 2 versions of it, but it's not a big deal. Whatever. Nobody's gonna watch the VOD. It's not a big deal. We'll figure it
You
out for next time.
will.
I know I will. That's for
And
sure.
it'll drive you nuts the whole time.
It will. I'm gonna be really upset about it. All right, Courtney,
Jay.
who are you?
My name is Courtney. Yeah, I am Anthony's wife and Jason's sister-in-law.
Yay!
I'm a total scrub. I don't really play D&D ever. I've wanted to. I played tons of WoW, and I'm a Disney nut. So
Awesome. That's perfect. You know what? If everybody could just do it as well as Courtney did, I'll be happy. So let's keep it going. Fritch, that's a tough one to follow.
That is a tough act to follow. So,
It was succinct, it was
Andrew
clear.
Fritch, commonly known as Fritchia. Don't know very much about D&D. Pretty excited to play. Hope I do okay. That's it.
That is it. All right, sweet.
Strong start.
It was good. It was good. So Ryan, can we get a little bit about you?
Sure. My name is Ryan. I am 44 years old. I played a whole bunch of D&D all throughout my life. However, I still don't know much about it. I rely on people that actually like reading rule books and boring stuff like that to tell me when I'm doing it wrong, and then I ignore them anyway.
It's true.
I knew you would confirm that.
No, you know what? I gotta say, Ryan's been running a game that I've been going to for on and off for a year, and
More than that, I think it's coming up on 2 years now.
gosh, has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Time flies. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
No, your dad is not the only one that's played D&D. Ryan has also played some D&D. The bottom line is Ryan and I we don't see eye to eye on hiding, but we're gonna cover that in a little bit. In fact,
we're gonna come to an agreement.
yeah, we are. That's
One way or the other.
that's our plan tonight. Like we want to all be on the same page about things that are reasonable, and I think if we can all lay out those rules ahead of time, we can all be a little bit happier. All right, so I'm gonna actually hit the button that makes it so it looks like we illuminate the character side of things next, and we'll see if that works. So clicking button now. Boop. And now we're talking about characters. They're around the table for the characters. There's love and there's not love on the screen. You guys can't see all that, but it's there. There's no love apparently. I'm gonna jump in and say before we're not on the house rules section yet or rules, but I'm gonna say let's at least keep these PG. I don't want to see what this is obviously going to degrade into quickly happen. So just if you're drawing
No
something,
rocket ships, got
yeah,
it.
none of that. I see truly in the
No.
background.
No Hawaiian.
I would have started right down that route if that's where I was going.
Yeah, well, I'm
That
impressed.
would have been the
Yeah. So let's keep the battle mat PG-13 at least, maybe just an idea, not a sermon,
Yeah.
just a thought. And since we went clockwise. Let's go counterclockwise for the characters. And this is early idea of characters. So we are hoping that, you know, maybe somebody is inspired by somebody else's character and thinks about changing things around or adjusting their current character. But as the characters have been rolled at this point, we're going to go over just a quick synopsis of what each of the characters is going to be bringing to the table. So Ryan, could you start us off with Spangle Luxie, the High Elf Cleric, please?
Well, why introduce her? You just introduced her. I'm going to play Spangle Luxie, the platinum blonde high elf cleric. Very friendly, very supportive, cleric-y person. Always glad to help you be your better self.
Very nice. I love it. Corbin Steelfleet.
Feet. I'm not Starfleet.
Oh, well, something you sent me said fleet, and I wrote it into your thing. So
if you look at roll
That's
20,
who you are.
it definitely says feet, but that's
well.
okay.
Doesn't matter. Can't change it now.
We'll fix that
Yeah.
in post.
I like Starfleet.
I mean,
Yeah.
Starfleet, it felt very like a Picard. So
Yeah, I'm not. Anyways, I am a dwarf ranger. He has a mysterious past. He's trying to find out who he is and where he's from. But in the meantime, he's been wandering around the forest, just helping and guiding parties. So that's about all I know.
I like it. Shrouded in mystery. Aren't we all trying to find out who we are? I mean, really.
All trying to find ourselves.
Yeah. Beatrice?
So my character, I don't know how to say the last name.
You mean Galanoodle?
There you go, Anthony.
Galanoodle. I think that's going to be canon.
Beatrice Galanoodle.
She's a wood elf ranger who loves just exploring the forest and looking out for adventure and prefers the company of aminals.
Aminals.
Aminals. There's an aminal back on your couch, or it has been over and off and on. So
Yeah, she's a fierce, ferocious beast.
yes,
Obviously.
a monster. How many teeth?
She's
like
down
7 or 8.
seven.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's about right.
Still got some.
All right, Kair.
Character. I'm in charge of is Kair Stormwind. He is a human warlock. He kind of runs around like Johnny Appleseed, more or less, just planting trees. I don't really know why, but he does it.
That's his thing. That's his jam.
Yeah, that's his pact.
All
for
trees.
for his patron.
Is it apple trees specifically, or
Nope.
or
He plants anything that he can, and wherever he is.
All the trees. Get your tree on. And Clovis.
So yeah, Clovis Bookstring is a halfling bard, and a little bit of a didn't want to peel the potatoes every year for harvest. Decided to make a deal with a fairy or some kind of magical being, and it's kind of been on the trying to find his way back home. Has a little bit of a trickster path interlaid in there, is looking for an adventure.
Well, hopefully we
Those
can
things
give him...
move.
Oh, they move if I move them.
What?
I know.
Oh, I gotta figure this one out.
Hopefully, I don't know if you guys can move them or not.
I can move it.
Son of a...
Ah,
That's my fault. Why should I even do this?
got it.
Well, hopefully I can give the adventure for you guys to be on, and hopefully it's an enjoyable one. I've been working really hard on putting it together, and I think it's pretty fun. I'm happy about it. The work, the backstories, those are all going to come in time. It's just a matter of having us all meet each other and have a good time. So we might even want to. Do you guys want to jump into the bonds right now? Did anybody hear anything from one of the other characters that they felt particularly compelled about? That they were like, oh, you know what? I could match up with that character, that ranger that doesn't know anything about anything in his background.
That was the one I was thinking.
Perfect. He's my dad. So
he's my dad.
He's all of our dad.
He's fathered a lot of children. I didn't mention that, but
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Well, you
How old
didn't
is he?
remember. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, dwarves are gonna dwarf. But yeah, if anybody had anything that just jumped right out at you, I think it would be great to say your piece now. Wow.
Ryan, can you tell me a little bit more about Spangle?
Sure. She is a very happy-go-lucky, very friendly and supportive character. She basically is very much like a social kind of animal. So she would have been definitely out helping people any which way she can. You know, she's her background is for she comes from a rather privileged background, you know, so, but she's, you know, isn't condescending as such, you know, down to earth that way. She's a life healing cleric, so she was very much about you know, helping people, and you know, her big long elven ears perked up. Oh, planting trees in the, you know, that's, oh, adding more life into, you know, the grand scheme of things. That sounds like a good thing. And I think it was it the dwarf that was wandering around helping people? Do I remember? Which character was the? Is that, said they like to spend some time? What was Corvin? Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if I help people. I guide parties on trips.
That sounds like helping.
Guess that's
Yeah, that sounds like helping.
paid service. Is it helping when you're a mercenary? Anyways.
One thing that Fritch did not say during his introduction is that he's extremely difficult. So, I mean, he's a true contrarian through and through, 100%. And that's not me talking. That's like the DM talking. So, anything that you throw at him, it's going to be the opposite is what he'll come back with. Isn't that right, Fritch?
I have to agree with you there, Jason. You're totally right.
Yeah. See, it's good. You're good at this.
That was a good trap.
I do what I can. You get 12 experience for defeating that trap. Make sure you mark that on your character sheets. All right, sweet. Well, as we kind of talk around about stuff, you know, if anybody else has some ideas that are we can kind of meld characters together. We have an interesting combination of 2 clerics, a warlock, a bard, and a cleric, or 2 rangers, a cleric, a warlock, and a bard. We don't really have a meat shield, but the bard can be a meaty shield. And
no.
Yeah, I mean, they can be. And clerics certainly
that's
have.
That's not where I'm going.
Fair enough. And clerics,
I'll be your meat shield.
No, that's
I love meat.
Word choice. So we've also got clerics that can certainly have quite the high AC and be frontliney and take a couple hits. So depending on how it all kind of shakes out, I feel like we definitely have the damage, and we have the tools, and we can overcome any foes. Yeah. Well, if we don't, we're gonna learn. We'll learn together.
I might not be very strong, but I can definitely do what I can to help protect you guys.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. We need all the protection we can get.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. So let's go on, and we're gonna just touch on some house rules, and I'm sure we'll circle back to bonds because that's a big one. Because by the end of the night, I do want everybody to at least be bound to one other person. So keep that in mind, and we're going to continue on and kind of just cover some of the other stuff that might help spur on ideas of how you could be bound to another person. So when we move over to the house rules section, I wrote a separate little thing to give me prompts, and I think it's saved, hopefully. Okay, so yeah, some of these are mechanical, and some of them are just kind of like ideas that I want your guys' opinions on before we make a decision for the entire group and moving forward. I have my opinions of them, but I want your input. I won't make a decision unilaterally, or at least it won't feel like I make a decision unilaterally. I'll hear you before I make the decision unilaterally. But hopefully we all agree, and then it like is a unilateral, like.
Wait. You want it to be a unilateral, so just why don't you tell us?
I want it to be unanimous.
We'll sit passively here.
No, okay. So one of the things that we are going to be doing that is a mechanical choice is we are going to make potions fun again. Because really, there's nothing less enjoyable about popping a potion and getting healed for the minimum. When you roll a die and you get that minimum roll on your healing potion, that is the worst. Oh, I like the rolling sound. That made me happy. So we want to make sure that potions, because they require a meaningful choice, are actually doing something, because you're giving up an action and you are healing yourself because you are on death's doorstep. So for this campaign, potions will always at all times heal their maximum value. I think it's important because there are plenty of times where I'm running a game or I'm in a game and I'm like, I've got 3 health. I certainly could get killed on the next hit, but you know, if I just get one more swing in there, like I don't want to heal myself for just 3 more damage, and it really still be within killing range. Excuse me. So potions across the board will heal for the full damage that they can, or remove the full amount of damage that they can remove. So they are going to be as potent as they ever can be at all times. So that's the first numero uno 1. 1-1 if anybody's keeping track. Numero uno 1-1.
I move to motion this past. This is what you want, Jay, right?
Yeah. Oh, unanimous.
I mean, it's gonna pass anyway, but
yeah, this one's passing.
Our votes don't matter.
Well, I actually don't think that's the greatest thing. I think maybe if you're below like half health and nearing death, maybe a potion should guarantee a full heal to whatever it would heal for. But maybe if you're above half health, or like not 1 hit away from death, maybe it shouldn't heal the whole amount in case you actually need to make that choice to heal the maximum amount, or maybe I just want a little more health because I'm about to do something stupid.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's definitely something I can consider. I think the next portion of the potions addendum may adjust feelings there also. So the other thing is that you guys aren't going to be able to buy any potions. Potions will not be available for purchase across the board. So you're not going to have a big supply of potions that you're carrying around that is going to get you through a dungeon. So because of their scarcity and the very rare times that you're going to actually receive them, I feel like they need to be meaningful, and it needs to be a meaningful choice because you are giving up an action, a swing, you to either administer one to another person or to take it for yourself. So I don't know if that changes how you would feel about it, but I think that it'll make it a tactical decision when you're actually using them, as opposed to you're just running down and you are chugging them left and right. Wade Kitty Cat asked a really great question in chat. They said, where will they get potions? That's a great question. Thank you for asking it. No, it's not through magic. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of through magic. Sure, we'll call it magic. That sounds good to me. No, one of the reasons that I didn't want to do a live stream originally for D&D was because I felt like the interaction with the chat was going to be lessened by paying attention more to the group that's running, and I'd be really ignoring what's going on chat. Yeah, Fritch hit the camera off thing. I don't know why. So
he's taking a poop.
A few months ago, Twitch. I'm glad he turned his camera off. So I guess I need to come up with like a thing that turns off maybe a placeholder image when people go away, and it can be just like a dumb looking person like I'm not here.
We could all
but not just the Skype S. That's less fun, and I feel like there's probably some copyright trademark rules. Anyway, so as for the potions and how people will get them, and the reason that one of the many reasons that we're running this D&D campaign is that Twitch a few months ago implemented these things called channel points. Channel points are a way to incentivize people to watch streams and redeem channel points, which are not purchasable for any amount of money. You can only garner them from watching other people's streams, and you can redeem them. It should be.
Wait. Are we not getting paid for this then?
No, you are not getting paid. You know what? That should have been number 1, actually. Oh, that's now everybody's thing got little. I wonder if when.
I'm sorry.
You lost.
No.
You said no money.
Yeah, Fritch was out. Peace.
He's like, I'm done. Not getting paid.
No, it's like
everybody went back to the right.
With Fritch coming back in, everybody's webcams went crazy. Thanks for joining us, Fritch.
You broke the
out again.
Now he's gone. All right. He doesn't like the no payment thing. Anyway, so back to the question. Sorry, way to be roundabout with answering it. The way that it's going to work is that by redeeming channel points, you will be able to gift your favorite player special things, potions being one of them. So there will be a limited amount of potions that can be redeemed per stream, and I'm going to try to balance it so you're able to redeem channel points to gift to one of the party members to be about what it would be for watching one full stream to gift it to one individual. So I think that I'll probably cap it at getting 5 potions per stream. And I've got these cool little things that I've set up, and the interface looks super janky right now, but check this out. Look at this one. It should work. I'll give your dad a potion. Boom. Look at that. He's got a little potion next to him. And then I have a hotkey for, I'll do it so there's one redemption of you give everybody in the party a potion, and then boop, look, everybody has a potion. You get a potion. You get a potion. So you guys get to play the role of like Oprah and dole out potions as you see fit as the viewers. Additionally, you will be able to grant individuals advantage or disadvantage using channel points. And I think that I'll work it in so it's just no matter what the next roll is for the disadvantage, that's when you're giving it to that person. So if you really want to see Clovis Bookstring fail at his next dissonant whispers, you can do your part to make sure that happens.
I get the potion and I fail.
Yeah, well,
you're using a lot of examples.
I'm just saying, like that's one of our examples. So
the system could work out really well for me in the beginning, where like all my kids and families are watching.
Yes,
and their friends. Gift me the potions.
Well, and
we buy our own stuff.
That's you certainly can if you have the channel points to do it. But I think that what I'm going to do is add in a couple really big ticket items where we kind of, my plan is to put together like a spinning wheel where you can like spin the wheel of fate and gift somebody something, but no matter what it is, they have to accept it. So I'll probably have 10 bad cursed items on it, 10 really good magic items, and then probably like 80 just so items. Or whatever the breakdown ends up being. So and that'll be for a big redemption. So a nice way to interact with the actual stream and get cool stuff to the people that you care to see get cool stuff. So that's the plan there. And I think that my guess is that the disadvantage, it will mostly be used for the DM, and I'm totally okay with that. Yes. Solar Coyote, thank you for asking that question. And yes, that is exactly the plan. Okay. I want to add a few things like ratchet up the difficulty level, like summon extra skeletons, or give the big bad disadvantage as well, or advantage. So the way that it's set up is they are required to input a text with when you redeem them. I will get to see the redemption, and I'll read off who it is that's getting it, and then we click on one of these fun little guys here, and we would say, +5 to whatever ability or disadvantage on the next roll, and we'll make sure that we take care of that at that point. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for channel points and how you can use those. There are other fun things you can do with channel points. I have them mostly disabled right now. In fact, I think they might all be disabled right now because I was working on them. But they will be available for the first official stream when we do the game. So that's the plan. Other house rules. The next one, what we are doing with critical fumbles. I've gone back and forth on this one. I will take your input on this one, guys. I think critical fumbles are fun. However, I know that some people really hate them. A quick overview of what a critical fumble would be is those ones that you roll. And if you roll them regularly, when you're attempting to swing at someone, do you accidentally miss and swing at your friend? Do you miss so poorly you swing and you hit your own foot and deal damage to yourself? If you do 2 or 3 in a row, does it get real bad and you lob off someone's head from your party? I don't know. I'm leaning towards ones just being failures and not necessarily fumbles that are terrible and have bad repercussions. Obviously, there'll be some like fun ways to describe what happens, but ultimately, I'm leaning towards the idea that you won't be penalizing your teammates or yourself. They are definitely fun for silliness, but I don't know that they should be like hurting each other. But I want to know what your guys' opinion is on that, and we'll go whichever way you guys end up feeling like is the best. And this applies on both sides. So monsters roll a 1, they don't hurt one of each other, and vice versa. So anybody have a strong feeling one way or the other on critical fumbles?
Whatever's more fun for stream.
Okay.
I mean, like, having a chance to re-roll is wonderful, but like, I mean, I just put it out there that the halfling has that already. So like, even though I know we talked about like if you roll a 20 in the critical fumble, you get to roll 1, you get to re-roll that one, or that one automatically hits or something. But I don't know. I think that, you know, if you roll a crit and you miss it on the first one, that's okay. Like, that's how I feel.
Sure. So yeah, the critical ones, it's actually not a part of the rules. That's a homebrew like rule that most people use because it's fun, and can be fun, and can offer for some really silly situations which are enjoyable and memorable. But I just don't know if it's, you know, the one is just whatever the number is you roll, the one that you roll plus whatever your current, you know, modifiers are. So I just don't know. I mean, we don't have to decide that one right now, but yeah, I tend to side.
I mean, we're halfway here for entertainment value anyway, so you know,
sure.
There's
if my weapon breaks, it'd be kind of funny, or if I, you know, like, or my vocal cords get strained because,
right.
I don't know. Just thinking, yeah. I mean, I see both sides.
Yeah,
but
I'll do either. Yeah, a situational disadvantage as opposed to necessarily a technical disadvantage.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And I'm 100% behind it when it comes to social interactions, and I think that that's totally within the realm of normal. My bigger concern is that some people come up with these fumble tables for their groups that are just mean. And I mean, like, I'd like us to all be playing this game and having fun and not feeling like I'm picking on you guys constantly and like just making it the worst for you.
Because, within reason, and it can't be like impossible. Like,
sure,
I chop off someone's head in the party. Like, that's crazy.
Well,
so.
and that's the thing. Some people, they do that. Like they'll say,
who does that?
Three or 4 in a row. Not the first time that you miss, but if you happen to miss 3 times in a row, well, you know what? You just chopped off your healer's head, or whoever the closest person is to you. You lose control of your broadsword.
Yeah, I'm only a level 1 cleric. I don't think I'm going to be healing anybody's head getting cut off.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not for a while, at least. Okay, cool. Well, that's I like the input. I will use my discretion, and we'll have some critical fumbles, and it won't be a hard fast rule that something very bad happens, but I'll try to keep it grounded in reality of what would likely happen. The next thing is kind of related. It's another commonly misused and poorly maintained rule, or kind of like bastardization of a rule. It is what happens on crits for skill checks. And because you guys can come up with whatever it is that you want to be doing in game to do a skill check for, there are parameters by which your natural 20 doesn't automatically give you a success for a skill check. So a 20 a 20 by itself is always going to be a hit when you're talking about an attack. That is a guaranteed success, no matter what their AC is. A crit is a crit is a crit, and that's great. But if the common one of the many examples that's given is, if you want to tell me I'd like to jump to the moon, and I say, you can try, and you roll a 20, you don't magically jump to the moon. You just
But it's gonna look really cool.
You jump as high as your person possibly
And,
could
like,
jump. Yeah.
An anime dust cloud goes out.
Yeah, and then you like freeze at the top, and there's
like this. Like,
You die on the moon.
I mean, you could just die on the moon. No, but your character doesn't have that unless you have some wonderful, amazing way to jump and go to the moon. You don't have that ability. So another example that people give when talking about this particular situation is, let's say you are a party that's gone in and you run up to the king of whatever kingdom and you demand that he'd hand over his kingdom to you. Well,
that's roll 2 20s in a row.
You roll a 20 and you're like, well, then that's my persuasion check. He's giving me his kingdom. No, he's not. He's not going to have you executed on the spot is what's going to happen.
Well, then, like, his aide walks in, says you're insane, and has you executed.
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe. Or, he says, I like the cut of your jib. You guys have some moxie. Nobody would ever ask for that. I'll keep you around. And it's a fun thing where you aren't just put into shackles right away. So the things that are within reason, yes, they succeed. They're done. It
says moxie,
and it's awesome. In this fantasy setting, it's actually one of the most popular words. So you need to get used to it. And up your moxie game.
It's a terrible soda in Maine. Just anyways.
Moxie? I've never had the soda.
It's big in New England.
Huh. That's good to know. The more you know. All right, so that's my thought and feeling on skill checks. So let's say you were in a fight with like a monster and it had ultra vision and you're trying to hide, even if you're in like a dark corner, and you roll that 20 as a rogue that's proficient with stealth, and you really feel like that should have allowed you to hide and then strike from the shadows. Well, if the DM says that it doesn't, it doesn't. And we all have to be okay with that. Now, if has to be a little bit of banter about it in the moment, I think that's acceptable too. And that one's for you, Ryan. So
there was no doubt.
That's Moxie. I like your Moxie.
I like your Moxie.
Another house rule that we are going to kind of just touch on and see how we all feel about is the leveling mechanic. One thing I am hard fast on and won't budge on is that we will never in our short period of gaming ever level up during a stream. We're going to handle that when it's off stream. In between sessions, it's possible. I'm up to that. Maybe when you go back to town for a long rest, that can happen, but not during a stream, because it would take whatever remaining amount of the stream is and then much
it'd be boring.
Much
Let's
more.
just
Yeah, and
it'd be boring.
And it's not as fun. So
will you notify us when it happens, though?
So that's the question. So do we want to be using do we want to use the milestone system?
Milestones.
Or would you like to use the XP system? See how I did that? I said one in like a nice way.
So we'll go with that.
Oh, definitely XP.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
you're the
XP
worst.
for sure.
So here's the thing. I have really fun, cool ideas for the XP system. I can code out like a cool XP bar that we can run as the group, and I can have it be something that I kind of input the numbers on the the website, and that would be cool.
Like a teleprompter.
Yeah,
that's too much work.
Well, it's really just like no, like really, honestly, if I know that are you going
to be a fair milestone?
Absolutely. If we do milestone, it'll be fair. It'll be within reason. Even when you get higher levels, my guess is that by the time that we get up into like the 4+ levels, once we're out into the like heroic tier, that it'll be once every 4 sessions. Anthony is not a very good artist, so if you see what's going on behind me, yeah, there we go. That's Anthony. We've got a skater S up in the top, a smiley face, some highs. Apparently I stink so good according to the lines. So yeah, I'm a fan of milestone. It's a lot easier for our side of things. It'll be easier for the one person that would have to be tracking the XP. But I do recognize
You said one person.
that, well, no, whoever it would be, it could be anyone. I do recognize that
number of milestones, like you could put a bar, like you need 5 milestones to get to the next level.
that's not how milestones work. So,
But they're at your discretion. So okay.
sort of. But yeah, I mean, I get that. Like it's but the idea is that, you know, when something awesome happens, and people do hybrid systems, they'll do like the first level as XP and then switch to a milestone once they accomplish something. So those options are there. But we just need to come up with what works for us, and if it just happens that we want to give XP for a try for a level and see how that goes, that's fine too. I tend to say that we should go with the milestones because they're easy. Everybody will level up at the same time. I'm not going to penalize anybody for not being around. If life happens and you have to miss a stream, you'll level with the same speed of the group. We'll have a suspension of disbelief that your character's there. Maybe the DM will control them and get them into all kinds of trouble. Or maybe we'll just say, yeah, they're there. And we remember they were there, which is also okay. I won't spend any amount of time explaining why they're not acting the way that they should act, or that they didn't jump in and do something while they weren't there. Gosh, you are just the worst, Anthony. I don't.
How do we clear the board?
You don't.
We can't. This is
This
it.
what we're playing on.
This is
This
everything.
is forever. Okay.
It's good.
Like
Just
that.
Pick a new... No.
Kill it all.
Hey, look, the almighty DM fixed it.
Nope. Nope.
Thank you, DM.
Also, I think I can probably limit Anthony's drawing ability.
I sure
mean,
hope not.
you don't have to limit it much. Oh, son of a...
It's back.
I hate you all. Got it.
Oh God.
Oh,
the road's there.
you like that? This is why we can't have nice stuff. You can't draw on my desktop. So, anyway,
We
jerks.
broke it.
This is why we can't have nice things, guys. I'm gonna bring it back, but I don't know what's on there. If it's bad,
You could put a piece of paper behind yourself and draw on that as distracting. can't stop you.
anyway. So there's this is gonna be a thing. So this will happen. I'll have to look into what other people do as far as limiting their party, or if they just expect them to be adults. Maybe that's what they do.
That's,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can throw that one out the window. That's not gonna happen. I got it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so the last thing. Oh wait, no. Do we have any other house rules?
no drawing on the board.
Oh yeah, no drawing on the board. I should add that one in there. The problem with when we play, the problem with drawing on the board is that we don't get layers kind of in like a good section. Like it's not gonna be, to my knowledge, we're not gonna be able to like break it up nicely. Hey, thank you so much, Commander Sage, for the follow. So you're jumping in the right time. We don't know what we're doing yet, so this is all very new. We know that we have essentially paint that we can play with behind me as we go over rules, though.
And the rule is not to draw on the board.
Yeah, well, that's the rule. So we've got some.
The one
rule
thing we
breakers.
figured out and we're told not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
But you know what? I get it. You don't have your tokens. You can't be moving them around right now, and I respect that. So it tells me we're doing a good job telling a story if you guys are busy doodling. So
It bothers you, and this is why we do it.
yeah, no, that's totally understandable. I get that. I'm just surprised nobody's drawn like some kind of like horns
Horns,
or
yeah.
a
mustache.
halo.
I would draw a
That's such a
mustache
good
on it.
idea.
Yeah, I know. I'm full of good ideas. Here, let me clear the board for you guys. Have fun. So the next thing was alluded to in that last one. Rules disagreements. We are going to have rules disagreements. It's probably going to be mostly between me and Corbin over there, just because I see it happening. No, the horn is too low. Unless
I
you're,
noticed.
I think
I
a little
can't-
bit higher, like in this area. Keep going. Keep going. Oh no, it can't do it right behind me because.
Oh,
no.
your green screen.
Yeah, but you should be able to.
Yeah.
It's not important. All right, so rules disagreements. We are going to handle rules disagreements like adults. You are. I know. Again, I'm asking
gonna be drawing
so
a lot of things.
much. I think we can do it. I think we can. What's going to happen is we will. That's funny. I'm a very patient person. Oh, wrong side. Yeah, there we go. Right here. Arrgh. There's the horns. We got there.
12.
Here.
Okay, that's not funny.
Right here.
Oh, too far.
We'll get there. So we will have disagreements. I'm open to discussion, but for the and there are going to be times where I don't know the correct ruling. So when that's the case, what we're going to do is we're going to make a decision for the session. I will research. I will hear your qualm, your argument, and we'll move forward with the next session with a official ruling. So I think that's pretty standard for groups. I'm not all knowing. There are plenty of things, ins and outs of this game that I don't know, and I admit that. And I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. I'm the most humble person you guys know, and all that fun stuff. So I think it's important that we all are willing to accept that a DM's ruling in the moment is the DM's ruling, and we move on from there. If you, instead of getting out of the game and kind of like jumping into the rule book and then we have to repeat what has happened in the last few seconds or the last couple rounds because you've been scouring the rule book. Let's just table
So we're not
it.
allowed to challenge you.
You
Got
can
it.
no, you can challenge. Again, if there's within reason, I'm gonna rule on the side of what I think is logical. So I think that it's
You have all say. Got it.
ultimately, yeah, in the moment, for the time, it's just blah blah rules blah. Right? Yes, exactly. Got it. Got it.
Glad someone knows.
Understood.
Yeah. So,
Hey,
okay.
we have that book too.
Yeah, Ryan, I know. I was like, I'm gonna pull mine out.
And you can see how little
What?
mine actually gets used. It's
Right.
all nice and
It's
pristine.
crisp.
All these
I was gonna
fresh
say,
books. Like,
Anthony's been destroying
what
his.
is this?
Yeah. Okay. Well, but it's good. We all have it. And this will be a wonderful time for you to be like afterwards.
The rule again we're talking about.
All of them, all of the rules, every one of them. So you guys will be able to call me out that, hey, Jason, you were wrong on this thing. It's very clear in the rules. And then I'll say, yeah, but it's a house rule for us. So that's the bottom line.
As long
Every
as
time.
you're like voice
Every
modulator and you're
damn
like,
time.
I am God here.
No, it's whatever. What's above a god in this setting? I'm not sure. That's what I am. So I'm the be all and the end all for rules with regard to during the game. So I think that's all my house rule stuff. And the last one that we have is the setting. And this one's going to be a pretty short one, I think, because we are. Let's click the button. Yeah, there we go. Nice blue setting. The setting is going to be, as you may have noticed from the name Newfoundland, we are going to be taking place in a standard like 5e starter session, traditional high fantasy. Their wizards exist. They are a thing. High level magic is out there. It shapes the world. It is the most it's super impressive when a wizard becomes like the bee's knees and starts getting cool spells. They can do cool stuff. They can warp the world in a way that we can't imagine here on Earth. So
why they're all jerks.
and they're all mostly jerks. Yeah. No,
they're mostly jerks.
You can't but there are things outside of our ability to imagine. Even that's what I'm trying to get at. Like they are all powerful.
What's the name of the spell?
They exist. No, it's wish. Boom. I mean, and then it's whatever. Yeah.
They wish and they roll and they go.
Yeah, and then it happens. So
I wish for a 3.
So standard high fantasy setting takes place in Faerun, which is the world in 5e in the Forgotten Realms. Anything that you've read in Forgotten Realms is at least loosely existing. I've read a good amount of
Faerun is the world.
Yeah, Faerun's the world. So the standard maps of Faerun are accurate-ish. at least accurate enough as far as land masses go, and climate, I guess. But the thing is that we covered it. No, there are no potions to purchase. That is unique to our setting. Their maps are sparse and they're very basic. So we don't have. We're trying to think of this as kind of like that medieval world of most people in the world don't travel more than like 5 to 10 miles away from their home. So the normal everyday person is not an adventurer. They are farmers. They are shopkeepers. They don't travel out into the world and fight evil. That's what makes you guys unique in this world. You are willing to. You're not one of a kind. There are other fantasy adventurers out there for hire or for fun or for glory, but they're not the everyday Joe Schmo that's out there. They're just, a cut above, and that's what you are even at level 1. You're just a little bit better than the normal commoner person. You're not super.
Well, I didn't want to say it like that, but yeah,
but that's the reality of it. And you'll move past that first few levels pretty quickly to get to that point where
where you level 5.
Yeah, once you get up to level 5, like
you're like you own things. You walk in, you kick the door open.
Yeah, and you're somebody at that point. I mean, I'd even say that by level 2 or 3, you've kind of distanced yourself from the everyday adventurer. And I heard one person on some YouTube kind of they were likening it to like Olympic athletes in our world are like level 3 fighters. So like you are something when it comes to athletics and acrobatics. By the time you're level 3, you're really the top cut. And there's not really anything on this world that goes quite much further than that. Maybe you have that one person that's a human, but obviously any kinkus that you run into, they don't follow the same rules. Tieflings are totally different than humans in our world. So that's kind of like the fantasy setting that we're running. It's a standard fantasy setting. Everything's very much your normal high fantasy. And it's not this super gritty world where magic is the rarest thing or maybe doesn't exist at all. There is healing. There will be resurrection spells as you level up. There will be magical things that can be done for a price. And that's kind of
like as a healer, I would like to take a moment to say, just don't die.
Yeah, please don't die.
That's a good thing.
Can I stand in the fire?
You can try.
Please don't stand in the fire. Everybody should have raid boss mods installed and know when Onyxia is gonna have a deep breath. So make sure that
everyone get DBM.
Yeah, get your DBM. Make sure it's up to date. Sync it up with the raid leader. Make a main assist key, and we should be okay. Like that's really the bottom line. So do good. Don't suck, and we should be okay. So that's all I got to say about the world. Do you guys have any questions about the world and stuff that's to come?
No.
There's something I wanted to do with my guy. I have mage hand, and I've got a 10-pound club, and I did some math, and I can drop it from about 20 feet above people. And I looked up how much force that falls with, and it's enough to crack someone's head open. Can I do that? I want to know. It'll change. I will not use that spell if I can't do it. I'll just pick a different spell.
This has been like the one thing he wanted to do since the beginning, since he started thinking about his character.
I was like, I'm going to mage hand this great club and drop it on things that aren't looking.
How heavy is a great club?
10 pounds. It hits with 2,800 newtons. It takes about 2,300 to break the person's head open. I looked up. Yep. I checked.
He's been.
I was like, math. I can math.
He's been obsessing over this character.
Magic and math and physics translate with one another well.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna look into the rules. I'm leaning towards the side of giving that like a my initial thought is that
Jay
that becomes no. That's a yes, but that it would not be instant kill, crack somebody's head. It would be more like an improvised weapon damage roll. And the player's handbook has a table for that. So that is certainly doable in some way, shape, or form. But we'll work on the specifics of how much damage. Yeah, it's 1d6 per 10 feet is oh, that's falling damage though. That's not for an improvised attack, I don't think, but maybe it is. I don't know. I don't have the book right in front of me. So yeah, you can definitely do that if Mage Hand can lift 10 pounds worth. And you can, if the science is sound, I'm not going to argue with science. I can't argue with science on this one.
Well, that's good to know.
Well, I can, and if I want to, I win automatically. So science can go suck it. No, that's okay. That's PG-13. I can say that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think that's okay. I think that you guys need to see this wonderful UFO that's behind me. So let me just hide all these things in order. And then 1, 2, 3, one more. Boop. Look at that guy. He's little I haven't been doing that. One of the players has done that.
It was a collaborative effort.
It was a collaborative effort.
It wasn't me.
Someone added the extra.
I got this.
Okay,
Really?
So,
So that's been been multiple people? Guys, you're
Can't
like
tell by the colors.
that was teamwork.
you're like a real team.
Already team forming party bonds already.
Nailed it. You got
I didn't
this.
help.
Why wouldn't you help, Beatrice?
I knew I was just gonna mess things up if I helped.
That's probably accurate. So we also want to talk about kind of like what you guys are comfortable with regards to role playing, what your background is with role playing, what your willingness is to kind of go there. I will happily be silly and do voices. I like that stuff. I think that it adds to immersion. I also have this fun Go XLR thing that
I'll probably do a demon voice at some time, and it'll be nice and ominous and ha 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 ha.
But I'll also make sure that we do stuff like this. I don't actually know what this one is, but I think it's something with a high-pitched voice. Let's see.
No, I mean, that's just kind of like a halfling. It's just a slight pitch change.
That is not what I sound like at all.
I'm a halfling. So yeah.
That's better.
Sounds like a gnome or a dwarf.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like,
Pretty close to a halfling.
I'll do what I can to do some fun, like, voice stuff. And I think that'll be a good time for voices. Most of the voices I do, I won't program into the Go XLR. I'll probably just do them on the fly because I think that's more, I don't know, I have more flexibility and I can really, flex my acting, and that's important and fun. So, but yeah, that's we're gonna do fun stuff with the audio. We'll have some fun, cool things like maybe that XP bar or something, or these cool ability to add everybody's potions in, and I'm gonna do hotkeys to do disadvantage and advantage for the individuals. So we're gonna have some fun stuff. My hope is to write a little bit of code that allows it to hook right into the channel points when they're redeemed, that it would give the individual the appropriate thing. I had actually, I was messing around beforehand with a GIF of a poof of like smoke that comes in when somebody's gifted one of the potions, because I think that would be cute. Like they just kind of like poof and then they're there. Get a nice little sound effect like whoever just did that last one, like there we go, something like that. So that's not that loud. Nope. We'll fix that in post. We'll get that out of there. But fun stuff like that. I like having the little tiny itty bits that make it unique and change things around. So I will. Yeah, that was pretty good, but a little loud. We'll EQ it out later. But it was nice, like a raindrop. I don't think that's the sound that getting a potion makes, though. I was thinking more like it's a.
I thought we were going to start singing the song. Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, lollipop, 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 oh lolly, lollipop, lollipop.
Thank you. That's our bard, everybody. That's what you're gonna have every single stream. All the barding. Every time
That's
that's what he
The
does
hits
for
keep coming here, and
whenever he casts dissonant whispers. That's what he sings to the people.
that might what you gotta go for.
It's kind of like disconcerting
I give it a
whispers.
10.
10 out of 10. I love it. All right, so anybody have any inspiration that they've garnered from the setting or from the house rules that we're going to be doing? Anthony, I'm totally fine with you lifting a club and dropping it on people. We'll talk about the damage later, and I understand that it is absolutely imperative to your character to be able to mage hand and drop things. So that's
I mean, he'll still keep mage hand.
okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad we settled on that one. If not, I'm gonna just start saying like, okay, the Rangers know each other. You guys
We already
range.
said that.
This is where. What? Oh, go ahead.
Courtney and
Yeah.
I already talked about that.
Yeah.
We've co-guided trips before, so we have a loose association with one another.
Okay, so but why would you adventure together? And I'll do my best to give us like a fun little hook
Because
in. But like,
Okay.
did she save your life at some point? Did
She's
you do
helping
something
me understand
stupid?
my past. I have a mysterious coin that may explain my past, and she thinks she knows somebody
Oh.
that can help me, and that's why
It
we're
looks
together.
like she has no idea about this from the looks of her face.
She knows
on the
now.
screen. Yeah, surprise.
All right, so
Oh, you got a
It's in
so
my
coin? Can I
bio.
see it?
so Beatrice is his personal guide to finding his family. So why would that be important to you? Like what's in it for you?
Because dwarves think clans are really important, and he's got to find his clan.
All right. So what about Beatrice though? Like why does she care?
Yeah,
'Cause
for
she's
sure I
cool.
like her.
She's cool like that. I don't know.
She's cool like that. She's out. She's out. She's out.
The reason
I've seen that it really bothers him, and I took a special interest in it.
very nice. Okay. That's enough for me. I mean, if that's all it takes, like that's great. You're a kind person.
Curiosity.
Let's see. Let's move this over and up. Were these supposed to be ears? Is that what you guys were doing? Or is that a tail?
Yeah, it didn't
That's
align
it.
right, but
Yeah, it's really hard to do
It
that.
looks like it's been a lot of things.
Yeah, it really has.
We were experimenting with trying to get the placement right.
Okay. All right, Kair, who do you know in this motley crew? Or who would you like to know?
I figured it would probably be easier to know the Rangers, considering my dude spends most of his time outside, planting trees, wandering around. And those two, I would assume I could have probably stumbled upon at some point in time.
yeah, I've seen KR around.
Sure.
Familiar.
So you see crazy human that's out in the wilderness planting trees with mage hand constantly.
Yeah, I've helped him plant a few trees.
Oh,
we've conversed. Yeah.
that's nice.
Nice guy.
Do you let people help you plant trees? Yeah. Or Kair?
I got no problems with assistance.
Okay. All right.
Just thinking
We had
I
a tree
wouldn't mind
planting quest. It
helping
went
people
swimmingly.
if they help me plant trees.
What happens if you don't plant trees?
I would assume my pack doesn't work anymore, and I can't cast magical spells.
All
Isn't
right.
that what would happen if you break your pack?
I mean, but you'd be breaking your pact momentarily. I assume you would go back to planting trees, or is the
Okay, you're not saying permanently. Yeah, I don't know.
They
Do you
could
have,
be
like,
the
a
sole
quota?
enemies defeated.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a quote every day?
It's like a tree every day, or like 10 trees a month, or something like
Tree
that.
a day?
Keeps the
Doctor
guard away.
Typically, I just try to do it before I go to sleep. So just
That's
whatever
a
I can get.
crap ton of
What the-
seeds you can carry around.
Yeah, they just poof into my pocket.
Is that all your weight?
What the?
I'm trying to fix it so you don't keep exploding, and instead
Well,
you
now
explode
the
it.
whole screen.
Yeah.
Is that a pine cone in your pocket?
Yeah.
Do the seeds appear from
Yeah,
the enemies?
what
you
kind of
defeated?
trees do you
Maybe they're
plant?
the enemy
Fun.
souls.
Like deciduous or
I
Coniferous.
plant whatever will be growing in the area that I'm planting them in. They pop into my little component pouch whenever I wake up.
Oh,
My patron puts them in there. I don't
Can
know
they be
how to do it.
carnivorous?
carnivorous
I-
trees.
If that's what grows there,
I don't think carnivorous trees grow anywhere. At least anywhere that we're gonna be.
well, it could be
I
like the
don't know, still
Whomping
my
Willow.
Yeah, but it doesn't eat anything. Like that would be extra weird for Harry Potter.
True.
All right. So you've seen the Rangers around. That's good. Clovis?
Well, I mean, it's easy to work in Corbin, like as someone because I'm scared of the woods, and I need to get from town to town,
Okay.
But so I've definitely hired him. I'm not like great friends with him. I've seen that coin in his pocket, and I'm like, ooh, I've seen other coins like that, on my travels. But I'm kind of trying to get this Spangle Luxie. How would I say privileged? Well, if she's privileged, definitely played probably in her town. Like I've probably played for her, like noble, like one of her like. So I don't know if she wouldn't. I would recognize maybe like I don't know. Does she have a crest or does?
You could probably recognize the family name.
It's not a super high noble, just better off. Like it's like a merchant, family. It would have been or something like that, or maybe the whole family has been just kind of like part of the church, and it's a church, so her dad is like a diocese or whatever, and the whole family, spends life, and because it's the Church of Life, which everybody needs, that's like kind of the generic go-to that every town has one of, so they're super loaded because everybody loves life and healing and stuff like that, so he would have come across, and I think I would have, probably helped the guides at some point, because she would have gone, as her, from church to church, helping out here and there, because she's a very helpful person, a very, big socialite. So, she would have likes to network out into all the different churches. So, probably, I would imagine like you guides as you were bringing people around at some point. Are
the two of us currently guiding Clovis and Spangle then? And then maybe we bump into the tree planter.
That could be.
Jason. Oh, Jason's having fun.
What are you doing over there?
He's making a crown. He's
trying to.
No, I was gonna do like Super Saiyan. Yeah, thanks.
I called it that.
I thought it was a gold crown.
DBZ nerds.
I'm okay with the gold crown too. I think that's all right.
I could definitely get into like hiring Corbin because I definitely want to go back to my home that I was teleported away from, so with his knowledge of the land, I mean, I've traveled to different towns with playing songs, but I don't know how to get back to.
Okay. Maybe the payment is you'll tell me about the coin when we get there or something.
Ooh, that's
like
a good one.
That's nice. So you're withholding all this information, and
yeah, he's kind of a jerk to my past.
Yeah, and actually it kind of fits into me, like not like. I don't know as much as I lead on.
Maybe you're full of it.
I could be full of it.
Hey, but you're willing to take a risk, like
I'm trusting in hope that he'll tell me.
Trust and hope.
That's all you got sometimes. Okay, cool. So I like that as far as a bond that we have there. Luxie, anything? Do you go by Spangle or Luxie? I feel like Luxie
is the surname.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I call Fritch.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you could certainly call her by her surname. I mean, that's, Ms. Luxie. If you so desire, she's unmarried.
Can you take the L out of my name?
I can after the stream. It's not just it's a graphic. It's not a. I have to you have to do it all. So, it's easy. But I have to after the stream.
Got to redo the FF7 boxes, or actually those FF3, right?
Yeah, it was like a Final Fantasy 3 kind of. That was the idea. So Luxie, thank you for the 12-month subscription. I appreciate it.
It just popped up. There you go.
It popped up. I just I didn't want to interrupt while it was going. The thing went off and people were talking.
Oh, so. I said Twitch Prime in the middle of the day talking. Didn't bother me.
Yeah, I know it doesn't. It never bothers you.
Yeah.
It's because you've never actually had to use one, Anthony.
It's fair. I only have Twitch Prime.
Yeah, well, no, that's your brother really appreciates it.
Hey, Court keeps giving me subs.
Yeah, I know. I really appreciate it.
I still got a sub now.
Okay, so let's. I think that we have a good, nice bond. That I don't know that the bond between Kair and the Rangers is particularly strong because it's kind of like, oh, we've seen him out in the woods. He does woodsy stuff. And that's
It's like Sasquatch. We've
that's
seen him.
good right now. He's always kind of blurry, kind of like what your webcam is doing now. So it makes sense. I think maybe it has to do with the lighting, because it's like trying to autofocus, maybe, because that's what it was with Courtney last week when it was doing this.
So we don't have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Stats open here. So is Kair? Do you look like a vulnerable individual out there in the woods?
My dude's kind of gangly. He's like 140 pounds and he's 5'9", so he doesn't look particularly.
Maybe we accidentally cut one of your trees down.
I don't
for
care
like
about that actually.
Camping? No, you don't care about that. Okay.
Yeah, he's just gotta plant trees. That's it.
So
They
you
can
don't
be
have
used.
to keep them up. You
Nah.
just care that they're planted.
Yeah, I gotta make sure trees are planted.
Has I do recall one of your bonds or one of your flaws. Has that been adjusted at all, or does he still have a difficult time reading?
He can't just read something. He has issues with that. He picked up an Eldritch Tome, and he can't just pick up anything and read anymore. He's hoping to get past that fear by killing some bad stuff, but he needs to get stronger first before he gets to that point.
Sure.
You can't read?
He can read.
He doesn't
can't
read good.
He reads fine. He can't just pick up a book he finds, and he prefers to read if he can. That's one of the things he likes.
Have you ever been to town, or are you strictly a forest dude?
He goes to town. He's got no problem with people.
If I
He just
remember
tends to-
correctly, he can read anything that he has read before. There's no problem, but picking up new things, he's essentially dyslexics, right?
Yeah, it just can't read it.
That is so sad.
Isn't
Trying
it?
to return a book to us, maybe?
Now
that you can't
that
read?
that definitely is right up Spangle's alley.
Okay.
Oh
For
my
helping.
gosh.
When you find out about this,
Oh, it's awful. I love reading. There's so many good books out there, and you just can't read them.
Yep.
That's awful. How do you live like that?
Sad. Live sad.
It's a sad existence.
That is sad.
It looks like you're a turkey now. Like, that's your tail.
I was gonna say, did you light your hair on fire?
It's
like fire.
I don't know. I don't know why
It's like
that's
the
happening.
He's the Mad King.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it looks like the Emperor.
I like that it looks like he's a turkey. Who's on fire.
He's on fire.
I mean, I think being a turkey makes for a good podcast. Is the tail like or this side? Is that scary tail a turkey tail? I don't think
Turkey cast. I think we found a new format.
Yeah, no, we're the Real House Turkeys of Newfoundland, season 1.
Okay, so KR's the problem now. We got to find a way for him to fit in.
Yeah, he's just out in the forest, dude.
The Fresh Prince of KR.
I don't know.
No.
Are you a prince? Sorry.
Could be a Fresh Prince.
But I don't know. Does anybody have a particular affinity towards helping somebody that they? Oh, I don't mean it seemed like Spangle felt very moved by the sadness that
Oh
is.
yeah.
That he can't.
I mean, if
read.
all I have to do is plant new trees, then maybe you could come to the church outpost that we're heading to, and you could, it could use a lot of landscape. It's it's an upstart. It's a plant. It's a church plant. So maybe you could make it a literal church plant and plant a bunch of trees.
The church needs a new forest. A lot of bare ground. There's a big fire.
Bare ground?
Yeah.
Watch out!
Bare ground.
It's deadly.
It's true. It's like a fairground, but a lot more exciting.
Way more teeth. So yeah, okay, I like that. If that fits with everybody's feeling, like you guys are all kind of traveling. Your first stop is going to be in the Fandolin area, which is fitting for the name of our podcast. But I like that you hitched a ride and you were like, hey, we know where you could plant a whole bunch of fun trees. Trees are needed. They help oxygenate.
Are we heading to Newfoundland? Is that kind of our target destination here, or are we coming from
I haven't. We haven't really decided that, but I think that it would make sense that if Corbin and Beatrice are already transferring Clovis to where he wants to be going, that maybe you stopped in Phandalin on the way or something like that, and at that point maybe you guys would meet with Kaer, and he's kind of he's been seen from time to time out in the forest, out and around, but then you can take a liking to him from the standpoint of wanting to help him with keep his pact so he can grow stronger to hopefully kill something and learn how to read again.
Yeah, that's a good. I was somebody said if your character practice reading to animals.
Oh, I like that. Because you're out in the trees.
And you love animals.
Maybe you can read books printed from your trees.
Only books that
only
are printed.
my trees.
Yeah. That's kind of fun. So yeah, I think that tracks. I'd say that we still have kind of a loose bond with anything that if Kaer was particularly in danger, that I don't know that you guys really know him from Adam, but it's maybe he can prove himself along the way, or just don't get killed. Anthony, how about that? That's an option too. Cool. Well, I think that's a good starting point for how we can round out things and start our party up and move forward from what we got going on. So I think that's respectable and understandable, and it all tracks to me. And when I go back and watch this a couple times over, I'll be like, oh no, we screwed the pooch on this one. This is no good. So but I think that for now, unless anybody has other ideas of things that we can add, or of questions about the game and things that we could be doing differently, or be doing things that you're excited about, things that maybe you haven't done in D&D that you'd like to accomplish, like what are your kind of hopes to get out of this game besides hanging out with me on Monday nights?
There's other things?
There are other things to this world.
Except for the fun that's going to happen.
Yeah, besides the fun.
Storytelling.
I got you. There's two of you that have played a good amount of D&D. Is there anything in D&D that you've always wanted to do? Hey, Maduba, no, you're not in the wrong channel. We're doing our session 0 for D&D. So is there anything that you've always wanted to accomplish with regards to playing Dungeons and Dragons, where, have you always wanted to build a castle? Have you always wanted to subjugate an entire people? Do you want to build a snowman?
I've always wanted to build a snowman.
Not
Is that going to be possible?
Lost in the woods.
It doesn't have to be a snowman.
It doesn't have to be a snowman.
Okay. You could climb a big mountain and build a snowman where there's snow.
I know.
I mean, like, have you always wanted to have like a swashbuckling adventure on the high seas? Like, what are things that you guys have wanted to accomplish or experience in D&D that your characters to this point haven't had the time to do?
I would like to. I mean, so often D&D travelers or adventurers get into like the slash and kill, and I think I would like to do more of problem solving with like creative problem solving, like, sure. And that sounds cheesy, but I'm like just like getting out of things with tricks, or I don't know, like planning the tree, how fast your trees grow. Do they grow overnight? Then doing that, and then you can hide in them.
Trees.
Oh, damn it.
Tree forts. Oh, we have instant fortifications every night.
Yeah,
every night. Yeah, so like I think that I want to focus. I want combat to be a part of what we're doing, but ultimately I don't want it to be the meat of what we're accomplishing with our campaign.
That's good, because looking around, I'm not seeing a lot of meat.
Yeah, no, there's not a whole bunch. But I think that we can have lots of fun social interactions and focus on what those kind of can bring to a D&D game, where if we're trying to do like fun problem solving and looking at things from a different angle, maybe not just running straight in headlong and always murder hoboing an entire town, that would be great. And I think that that's going to be important for like the storytelling aspect, because if you guys just kill everybody that you come up against, it doesn't make for a fun, interesting story necessarily. Obviously, there are going to be times where violence is the only option, and but I want
never the only option.
No, in some of them it will be the only option.
Okay.
That's a DM rule. I will make it the only option.
All right.
No,
Carrier, get your mage hand ready with your club.
Drop your club. No.
How many clubs can we send up with your mage hand?
One at a time.
Well,
10 pounds.
Sounds awesome.
Can you drop trees as they grow in midair?
What if
They're 10 pounds?
They're not
What if
magical
it's 10
trees.
What if you take up 10 1-pound clubs and drop them from a
It's not a mage octopus,
tree.
it's a mage hand.
I fully expect you to have like some dubstep on hand, so like you know the club and then
drop the beat.
Think of the drop. There you go.
Absolutely. No, if you don't, then you're missing an opportunity, Anthony. That's really the bottom line.
Drop the beat, drop the bass.
Drop the
mic.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, maybe you just carry a mic around instead. It's like it's not a club, it's a I mean, I guess you're at the club. It's not important. I'm sure there's a joke there somewhere. So yeah, like I mean, just something even as simple as Anthony's desire to drop a club with Mage Hand. Like that's something I'm glad you brought up, because it's outside of the box thinking with a spell that you know, I'm sure other people have done stuff similar, but if that's important to your character, as it sounds like maybe a shallow character, but I think that it's important that you get to do what's fun for you. Like that's the important thing. So I think if you guys have ideas of how those things should run, it would be great for you to let me know as they come up. Like if one of you thinks, oh wow, you know what, I've never domesticated a wolf that I could use as my mount. Like I've always wanted to do that. Give me an opportunity to do that, because I want to take inspiration from the things that you guys want to do, and I want to weave those into the story too. Because I have like this 50,000 foot view of what the story is, but I'm gonna be leaning on you guys to fill it in. Like I have this wonderful tapestry that I shall weave, but you guys are the threads that will fill it out and make it plush and a high thread count. So
nice.
Yeah, so that's nailed it. Got it. That's what you guys have to look forward to. That kind of beautiful description. So I don't know. I just rolled a 19, so automatically I think that we know that nobody's beating that. Yeah. Well, no, on the roller. Oh, also
a 5.
Because I don't. Oh no, that's what you did. Rolled 4d10. What are you doing with your world life?
Yeah, me.
Kind of a lousy roll for that, honestly.
So one thing that I did want to mention is that I will be using because I don't know of a way to obfuscate my rolls on the Roll20 side of things. We're gonna play with like a virtual DM screen where I will probably do most of my rolls just with physical dice, because I don't know a way to make it so you guys can't see my roll and that we can still see your roll on stream. So
I think you should. I think that's good. I think you should set up a screen.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
dice cam.
That might be kind of fun.
I think it just adds to the, you know, when you hear that dice roll, it's kind of sweet.
The dice roll is very fun. So I think if there's no objections to that, and obviously it's no different than if we were just playing in person, you wouldn't see what's behind the DM screen anyway. But I'm gonna try to be like conscious of not just rolling for the purpose of rolling. There are gonna be plenty of things where in other games that you guys have played that maybe a DM has said, okay, roll for it, or do, you know, roll this or that. If it's gonna gate something in the game, I'm just gonna allow it to happen. I think that there's gonna be more successes than there are opportunities to fail, and I think that that's something that you guys come up with cool ideas, and I'll just say that you do them, because that's important to me, that we tell a cool, fun story, and do cool, fun stuff. what else? Oh, another thing. I want us to avoid as best we can the like metagaming, min-maxing that oftentimes creeps into D&D. I feel like if we're giving each other opportunities to roleplay, we should take those opportunities. So instead of like walking into a room and saying, okay, I want to do a perception check, tell me what your character does, because I'm far more likely to just say that you accomplish that thing if you tell me you walk into the room and you look underneath the rug for something, instead of I'd like to come into the room and do a perception check for traps. If you just tell me that, I'm gonna say, okay, well, what are you looking at? What are you looking for? What are you testing? What are you like? Give me a description instead of a mechanical explanation of what's happened. So, and if you do that, if you say, I come into the room and I check under the bed for bed bugs, you'll notice the bed bugs and you'll avoid them, like, because you won't trigger that
Too
trap.
late. Avoided those bed bugs.
Right. You'll be able to take care of whatever it is by using your words instead of trying to rely on the dice in a good roll. So, and I'll try to gently move you back towards the idea of using descriptive language to tell me what you're doing instead of just telling me what the dice are trying to accomplish for you. So that is something that we can all work on. And if I ever just tell you, make a perception check, call me out on it too, because like that's not good DMing. I should just use your passive perception if you haven't asked me to that you're on the lookout for something. If you're not looking up at the ceiling after I told you that the ceilings in this particular cavern are 20 feet high and they smell like dried blood. So if you don't take the cues and say like look up above, then you're not looking up above, and if you are looking up above, you don't have to make a perception roll. You're looking, it's there and you see it. There's a monster on the ceiling and it's about to pounce, and it doesn't get surprised on you now. So stuff like that. So we try to use our words, try to be descriptive, and
use your words.
Use your words.
Use your words. Come on,
Are we pushing for
pronunciation
first person or third person?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
If you can, it takes time for a person to feel comfortable and get into the skin of a character and role play. Whatever you feel comfortable with is fine by me. If you don't feel comfortable talking in the first person as a character or doing a character voice, that's not it's not the end of the world.
Kaya, can you even like learn new words?
Exactly. So
learn things.
You can't
Spangle
read.
gets it. So and even like for Spangle there, that wasn't a drastic change to the voice. It's just a slight pitch change, and it conveys that that's not in Ryan's voice, that's in Spangle's voice, Luxie's voice. So it doesn't have to be a crazy accent. Not every dwarf has to sound like this.
Oh, they're all Scottish.
They're all
Every dwarf is
Scottish, every
Scottish.
single one of them. For what
That's
it's
how you
worth,
know it's a dwarf.
most of them will be Scottish. That's just the way that it works. But they don't have to be like, and it doesn't have to be. Multimedia says, "Wow, this is the worst Overwatch match I've ever seen." Holy
We're
moly!
actually winning. We're
This
up
is-
thousands of SR.
We haven't lost a single match tonight. What are you
No one's
talking
died.
about? We're crushing it. Nobody's died. I started a list with my pinky instead of my index finger. That's weird. So yeah, I think that if we all use our words and we're all conscious of it, that that could make for better storytelling and an attachment to characters. But if you don't feel comfortable doing the character voice, don't do a character voice. If you don't feel comfortable talking in first person, don't talk in first person. It's not going to be a deal breaker any which way. If you ever feel uncomfortable, then let me know, or just don't do it. Like I'll urge you to try to see if it's something that fits, and if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, and that's okay. So oh yeah, we should all be in team chat. Switch over to team chat. That's a joke for those that watch our Overwatch streams that have usually been on Monday nights. The other stuff I think that that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover for our session 0. I think that if anybody has strong feelings one way or the other of a character change that they would like to make, whether that's just adjusting your backstory or changing, spells or equipment out, that's fine with me. Another thing, if anybody did want to do anything besides the standard array, we would want to do rolling on stream so everybody could see it and make sure that we're not cheapening the system. So if anybody doesn't want to do that, the standard array, now would be the time to go through that and make that happen. I think everybody used the standard array. I don't know how you got 18 AC on your cleric, but your cleric is a monster. Stat rolls, that's what everybody shows up for. No, but I think if we're all good with those things, I think that's all the stuff that I have planned for tonight. Anybody? Are we all in one accord in mind?
General question: how's Roll20 going to work with this? What are we doing, like, off screen? What are we doing on Roll20?
Yeah, definitely. So my hope and desire is to do as much theater of the mind as we can, but I know that a lot of people prefer seeing combat on a grid. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to be relying on combat to be the #1 selling point, because I don't think that combat necessarily, like, it's one of the 3 pillars. And if you only focus on combat and you exclude exploration and social interactions, you're not getting the full feel of the game. That's not to say that it should be it's heavy armor and a shield. That's exactly what it is.
Sounds right.
But when I was looking at the character sheets, his was just like 4 over everybody else's, which makes sense because we've got, warlocks and bards. But I think that for purposes, I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
What?
I saw AC again and I got excited. I was like, no, it was just so much higher than everybody else's.
You're talking about roll. If you're gonna not take the standard array,
roll, do it now.
Yeah,
no,
roll.
I had moved past that.
Oh,
there was the next thing.
Point by.
Yeah, but the standard array or point by is totally fine as long as you stick with one of those 2. Well, I'm sure whatever it was I was saying is really important. He's drawing his heart off. Drawing his heart off. Spangle. He's drawing a sun with some glasses. No, that's not you. No. Somebody else.
No.
Oh, something about theater. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Mythrock knows what's up. This guy listens. So theater of the mind versus the grid. I think that some combats are gonna be on a grid, and there will be some that I think are going to be faster combats and don't require us to set up an entire grid and go the whole 9 yards.
Like when we drop clubs on people.
When you're just dropping clubs to knock them out and put them to sleep.
Hide behind trees and drop clubs. It's going to be
climb the tree, drop a club.
Exactly.
I don't see how this is going to be bad for us.
No, this is going to be the stealthiest group of club droppers. You guys could name yourselves the club hoppers. I think the idea is that there are going to be plenty of situations where you jump in, you do a quick combat that will just be described and won't be on a playmat, but big combats that I feel like could become more argumentative, we'll put them onto a big old mat and make sure that that's there. Hey man, thank you so much for the follow. So I will be using the playmats for some stuff, but a lot of the stuff is not going to go into Roll20 besides the rolling, because we can see your guys' rolls so clearly with the way that we broke it out on the screen. And I don't know if I'm not like totally set on one way of the screen showing the rolls versus another. I might adjust the scene that I've set up, but it'll be generally like this with webcam views and then rolls and then whatever shows up down there, like the light crossbow down there. So I think that for that, when it's there's really cool stuff that Roll20 does with the icons and tokens for measuring distance quickly, that's all synced up with your character sheet, and that's actually pretty cool functionality that they have. So we'll make sure that we use it when it's appropriate and ignore it completely when we just want to get through a quick combat that is not like the main part of that particular episode. What are you drawing? Okay, it's a dog. Thank God.
That's a dog.
It's
turning into a dog
see it.
slowly. It started off weird.
It's really hard to do this.
Okay. Well, I think you can do shapes. Like you don't have to do.
No, freehand
freehand.
everything.
I don't.
It's not art if it's not freehand.
You definitely don't have to just freehand. Like you can do.
No, all freehand.
I don't want to move it.
Woof.
So
All
like
freehand.
those are
Oof.
you can do squares, and I think you can do squares that are based on the actual grid, and then squares that are not on the grid, and then circles, and then
I didn't know
circles that
it
are
was
on the
until
grid.
The woof.
Oof.
So yeah. It's the wolf. Yeah, that the wolf is really that's the moment that I knew that it was a dog. Beforehand it was looking very weird. Look at all those fun drawings.
Looks like a heart with a triangle.
That's how I learned how to draw a dog when I was younger.
It's a beautiful dog. It's wonderful. We all need to
Beautiful.
get it all out of our system and do all the drawing that we can today, because it is going to be a rule that unless you can draw something really funny, that we're not drawing. So
So you're gonna murder us if we draw. Okay.
Funny and PG-13.
right, and
Oh,
PG-13.
crap.
Wait, so this is woo with a smiley face, not woof. This is only one woof. Cool.
There's actually 2 woofs.
Is there another woof? Oh, there's another doggo.
I think Court's practicing the dogs.
No, you couldn't
Oh.
see the first one, so I drew it where
Oh,
everybody
you-
could
you
see the
drew it
beautiful
on-
artwork.
Okay.
Dog.
It's
I think that we can, like, if it's all one thing, you can probably. Oh, there's a heart on the dog. So okay, cool. Well,
Your race.
do we have any more wonderful questions? Because that was a really good question from Fritch. And I'm happy to field any other ones to the best of my ability at this juncture. I have
I'm
so
good.
many.
Just know you have to hold hands a little bit with us newbies. So
yeah. I
I'm
don't know what I'm doing.
totally excited about that. I have 4 children. I'm a rather patient person.
He wipes
Are
butts
you?
too.
I was like, you have Anthony as a brother.
I
That
have-
right there takes a lot of patience.
I have that guy. Oh, damn it. That guy up there in that direction as a brother. So I've had to learn patience at a very young age. And I don't mean the sun.
Thanks.
The sun is.
A mass of incandescent gas. A
Right.
giant nuclear furnace.
Oh gosh,
That's
our
Where
bard.
high? Yeah, see, you know it.
That's our bard there. So I think unless anybody has any other questions, we can call it for the evening, 9 minutes ahead of time for the D&D side of things. And we'll probably take a little break, like a 5-minute bathroom break, and then hop back on, do a little bit more just chatting, and then meet for our first official session next Monday, before I play some Overwatch
Yeah, next
and other
Monday.
stuff. Anything else? Mythrock, do you have anything to add?
I don't even know what TMBG is.
To what? The flying
Like I
hat?
said in chat.
Oh, I missed it.
It's in chat.
it's like a sombrero with an alien on it being thrown.
Mythrock was saying one of
Oh,
us
they might be
roll
giants.
stats.
Yeah.
What's the stat roll going to be? Like what methodology?
Huh?
Mr. DM. What's going to be the methodology for rolling some stats?
Do you want to roll stats as opposed to
Press
taking the standard
Roll for
buy?
stats.
Well, it's a gamble, but what's going to be? How do you want it to do?
Didn't we already do
press it.
stats? No.
I would do this. I think it's like isn't it 6 d6s and then you take the 5 highest or something? Whatever it has in the
Click it
PHP.
and then find it out. If you want, I
60.
can just click it. It'll show
Yeah,
up and
go ahead and
I'll
click
see
it.
Thing.
Click it and we'll all see it, Anthony.
Ooh,
Whoa.
that's what it would be. Oh my god, a 4. So I'm glad that I'm not rolling for stats. And I was just showing everyone it was.
Right. So those are Anthony's stats now.
Terrible roll.
So it's right there. You click a button, you get them, and it just adjusts them automatically. And then you would get to allocate them as you see fit, but you'd have to stick with the actual roles that are there. And as you see, you certainly can get a very low roll.
Yeah, I'll stick with what I have. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing us the absolute worst, Anthony.
Yeah, that couldn't be.
I mean, that's a middle of the road person, except they're
with a 4.
Terribly.
I mean, that's
weak.
definitely going into intelligence if it's going anywhere for me.
Oh, really? You're a dumb warlock?
I mean, they don't need to be smart.
Yeah,
They just need high charisma. Yeah. They just gotta get people to like them.
14's not bad. So
14's not great though.
It's not bad. It's a lot of right in the middle stats. Like you've got a lot of ones. So. Oh, we're just
14 is still a couple steps.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we all see that.
Cleverer than you.
I'm just clicking stuff.
Yeah. So the next time that we play, I think that it is going to be we'll kind of stumble through using the Roll20 functionality, and I'm gonna rely heavily on more descriptive things as opposed to putting us in a dungeon right away or anything. So. All right, guys.
Sounds good.
Then you get 5 minutes of your life back earlier than I expected. I'm going to do a 5-minute away from the computer and bathroom break, and probably be back in 5 minutes.
Are we done?
Yes, we are done.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming to session 0.
Yeah.
Yay! We did it! This has been so long in the making.
Jazz hands.
I'm so excited for all the twists and turns that I have planned for you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh my god.
We're all gonna die in the first 10
Hands.
minutes.
Yeah, probably.
The very, very first adventure.
Meteor
everybody
hit.
dies.
You're all
So,
dead. Let's start again.
There you go. A club drops on all of your heads from 30
How
feet
did that
up.
happen?
Yeah, it happens. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. We're going to go 5-minute AFK, and we'll be back to do some chatting.
We playing Overwatch?
Yeah, at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.